Welcome to Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. Each episode reflects on a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler on a spiritual journey with the Tapestry community, and we refer to the daily Bible reading as our spiritual manna. It nourishes our souls, fostering spiritual growth as we share insights and interpretations that enrich our spiritual lives. Today is Tuesday, May the 19th, 2026, in the seventh week of Easter. The lectionary reading is from the first of two circular letters in the New Testament written by the Apostle Peter, one of Jesus' disciples. The letters were addressed to Christian communities throughout Asia Minor, modern-day Turkey. The recipients were predominantly Gentiles who were familiar with the Jewish scriptures. On Monday, May the 18th, 2026, the podcast's lectionary reading was 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 1 to 6. It encouraged the Christian believers to strengthen their resolve and to embrace the unjust suffering they faced, pointing to Jesus as their example, who also endured unjust suffering. They lived in a hostile environment, surrounded by people who ridiculed them and mocked their Christian faith. But Peter urged them to remain committed to Christ and to trust in God to endure suffering, because such suffering will never separate them from God's love and will ultimately lead to a life that glorifies Him. Today's lectionary reading continues with 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 to 11. By the time Peter wrote his two letters to the Christian communities, he no longer was living in Jerusalem. Rumors were circulating that the temple in Jerusalem would be destroyed and that life would never return to what it had been. During this period, major changes were also unfolding across the known world. And in light of what lay ahead, Peter urged the Christian communities not to take anything for granted. They were to stay wide awake in prayer. They were to love one another as if their lives depended on it, because love makes up for practically anything. Peter urged them to be welcoming and compassionate toward one another, to remain cheerful and generous as they share their God-given gifts with those in need, and to serve one another humbly. In this way, Peter said, God's presence would be evident in all they did, and all the glory would go to God.